Hi everybody, this is SAAD. I wasn't planning on doing another SAAD truth clip today, having just posted one a few minutes ago. But then I went on my Twitter feed and saw several people that had tagged me regarding Gillette's clip, basically saying, let's not accept boys will be boys and let's teach boys to be better so that they can become better men and so on. Here are my rebuttals that I posted on Twitter, which I'll first read to you and then maybe add a few additional comments. It is undeniable that all humans should always strive to better themselves, to be more inquisitive, kinder, less violent, less envious, more cooperative, etc. However, human frailties are not restricted to one sex. Please stop pathologizing the quote disease of being male. And then I tag Gillette. And then I post 2 minutes later, some men are evil, manipulative, and violent. Most are kind, caring, and peaceful. We are creating a terrible ecosystem for our young boys by repeatedly telling them that by virtue of being boys, they are uniquely, quote, diseased. Stop it already. Let's elevate all humans. And then finally, a few minutes later, my third and final tweet. Dear Gillette, some men are violent misogynists. Most are willing to die to protect our liberties and freedoms, including those of women. It is grotesque to repeatedly ascribe collective guilt onto half of humanity known as men. Being a man is not a disease nor a pathology. For a very long time, across many cultures, there was institutionalized sexism against women. And then through various mechanisms, we were able to certainly do our best to try to eradicate these forms of institutional sexism. That doesn't mean that there aren't individual cases of sexism. Humans are flawed beings, and so they will succumb to sexism, to bigotry, to racism, to all sorts of social ills. Now, the fact that in the past there has been endemic institutionalized sexism against women, and no one denies that, and no one denies the fact that a powerful man who uses his position to intimidate and harass a woman for sexual favors is a creep, is a criminal, is immoral, is unethical. That doesn't mean that we need to have public service announcements advising all men to do better, all men to rise to the occasion, all men to be better versions of themselves. That's as grotesque and offensive as anything that the left typically starts hyperventilating at when we then have to use the hashtag not all. Most men are willing to exhibit qualities that are truly laudable, right? They go to war to die for people that they will never meet, right? But the same sex that can do that can also sexually harass women in the workplace. That doesn't mean that we need to have public service announcements teaching all men to stop suffering from the pathology known as manhood, or, of course, in today's parlance, toxic masculinity. This needs to stop. Again, think about it for a second. Imagine if you are a young boy that is growing up in today's environment. It is as toxic, forgive the pun, as any environment that a little girl faced in the past, where she was told that she wasn't going to be good enough to succeed in, domain A, B, or C. That was wrong, if ever a girl were told that. And it is equally wrong when little boys right now are taught to truly view themselves as diseased beings, right? You're born of original sin as a diseased being if you are male, and then Gillette is going to call upon you to be better. This is grotesque. It's bad. It's evil. And it needs to stop. Both men and women can engage in the most reprehensible behaviors, and both men and women can engage in extraordinarily uplifting behaviors. It is part of the human condition to have the full range of possible realities. We could be competitive and cooperative, kind and mean-spirited, violent and peaceful. Now, of course, I'm the first to recognize that there are sex-specific manifestations. Men are much more likely to be violent than women. But there are other realities. Women are women can have a man raise a child that is not his, knowing full well that it wasn't his. This is known as paternity uncertainty, cuckoldry. This has been a central feature of the evolutionary trajectory of the two species. Is that a form of toxic femininity? No, it's basically the fact that both men and women, as I said, have the capacity to be great and to be bad. And so if we're going to have messages that seek to uplift us, let us try to have messages that seek to uplift all individuals, believers and atheists, men and women, and all other who don't subscribe to, heteronormative norms. Let's uplift everyone. In the quest to elevate women, let's not pathologize men. Have a good day, everybody.